welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are being safe during this quarantine season. So I've been getting a lot of DMs asking me when I'm going to shoot because everybody's in quarantine. But the thing is, guys, I have to work from home. So I tried to record the other day. So I went MIA for like an hour or two, and like my phone was just buzzing and people at work were trying to get a hold of me. So I thought it's such a bad idea for me to be filming while I'm working, so I'd rather save the filming for the weekends. So yeah, let's get right into it. I don't want to do a very long intro. So as you guys can see from the title of this video is actually long awaited. All my videos are long awaited because I always take forever to release them, but not to worry, I'm finally doing this video. This is the 5 tips on how to buy your first property. And as you guys know, I bought my first property last year. In fact, I bought it in November, but everything went through by December, and I got a lot of DMs from you guys asking me how I did that, and you guys just wanted more information as to go about it if you guys also want to purchase your own home. I will say I'm not an expert when it comes to buying homes. I'm not a realtor, I'm not an estate agent. Okay, so I'm not a licensed advisor on property, but I will give you guys tips based on what I went through and based on what I experienced when I was buying my first property. Okay guys, so I will be giving you guys 5 tips on what you need to look out for or what you need in order to buy your first property. The first thing you need to do is get a pre-approval from the bank. So what a pre-approval does, it shows you how much you qualify for, more or less, before you go out into the market to go look for property. Because it's like going to spend a credit card and you don't know the limit on the credit card. So you want to know what you qualify for. So you need to go to your bank, just ask to get a pre-approval and just find out roughly how much you qualify for. And then that's when you can start your process. And guys, just a side note, a pre-approval does not automatically mean that the bank is going to approve you for the home loan, but it's just a way for you to get by and understand where you're at and just know roughly how much and which areas you can like look into that you can get properties around that amount range. So how a pre-approval works is it actually looks at your salary, and then from your salary the bank is able to tell how much you can afford roughly. Okay guys, so the second thing that you need to know is you need to be in good financial standing. So being in good financial standing means if you have any accounts of any sort, that you pay them on time, and that you just monitor your accounts, make sure there's no overspending, make sure you don't max out your credit cards, make sure you spend but not too much, and make sure that you always pay back whenever you need to pay back and not a day longer. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. And also don't have too much credit. You can have 15 or 20 accounts if there is such, and pay them on time, but then you will not be in good financial standing because the bank's going to be like, okay, she's got 20 accounts, all her money is going through all of these 20 accounts every single month, so how is she going to be able to pay us back our bond? You know, so you just have to be aware of things like that whenever you go out spending. Make sure you don't overspend on your credit cards, make sure you always pay them back on time. Make sure you're not listed with the credit bureau and just make sure that you don't have any unnecessary debt, because the bank is definitely going to look for that, and make sure that you've got a good credit scoring. There is an app that I use just to check out my credit score, and this is Clear Score. I'll just put that down somewhere there. It's called Clear Score, and that was how I used to monitor and just find out who I owe, what I haven't paid, which I never did have any because I always made sure that I paid every single thing on time, and it just basically showed me where I was. Okay guys, so once you've gotten 1 and 2 out of the way, you need to have transfer fees. And these are unavoidable. Everybody needs to have transfer fees, and I know they don't go above 60,000 rand, so you need to have that money put aside. And transfer fees is just like lawyer fees on how the lawyers are going to transfer that property into your name and all of the other stuff that goes with transferring your property, and that's why you need to have transfer fees. You cannot avoid this. You need to save up on transfer fees, right? So after you've gotten the top 3 out of the way, now you can start looking for your property. Guys, I looked for property. I looked and I looked and I looked, and I actually started looking for property, I think it was in June, yeah, sometime in June. and I'm always like, yeah, I think I started looking sometime in June. So basically what I use is Property 24. So I was on Property 24 looking for sale properties, and just booking appointments to go and view these properties. I viewed quite a bit. I think I viewed like over 30 properties, and I'm very, very picky. And that's one thing I want to tell you guys: you cannot find 100%. You will not find exactly what you're looking for. So what I like to say to people is, you're going to have 75% and 25%. 75% of the times, if you like the property, then that's perfect. You know, you're not going to get 100% what it is that you're looking for. And I think that's one of the mistakes that I made when I was looking for property, and I think that's why it took me so long. But luckily for me, it was such a great market to buy property last year, like towards the end of the year. So yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, I looked for property. I work in Rivonia, so I wanted something very close to work and my parents' house, which is where I am right now. So I'm a bit back and forth at the moment. And my parents' house is in the south, so for me to be driving all the way to Rivonia every single morning was just giving me so much stress. The traffic in the south is so bad, so I actually wanted to move very far away from the south because I grew up in the south and I didn't want to be here anymore. I just wanted something a bit different, and that's why I started looking in the north. So I looked in Rivonia. I didn't like the area. No offense to anybody, this is not to bring down everybody, to each their own. If you like Rivonia, that's great, and I know a lot of people that live in Rivonia that enjoy the places where they live, but I didn't like it so much because I just feel like it's become like an industry for work. There's a lot of companies there, and I necessarily wouldn't want to live in a place where there's a lot of companies. I want a place that feels homey, you know. So I tried looking in the Sandton area. So I got a place somewhere in Sandton. I'm not gonna say where because you guys are gonna come for me. I'm kidding. I got a place in Sandton, and I liked the area because there's a school there. There's like Crawford Prep close by, and I want to have kids in the future, so I like environments where I see that there's schools and there's like a shopping mall very, very close by. It's actually almost a walking distance, if you're not lazy, a walking distance from us. So yeah, that's the one thing that you also want to remember when you're looking for property, is the criteria. Like, what's your criteria? What are you looking for? Okay guys, and number 5, last but not least, when looking for a property and you've bought your property, you need to remember that there will always be hidden costs with every property. And guys, hidden costs, I won't say levies are hidden costs, but most people always forget that there's something called levies. So they just go and buy this expensive property and they don't consider that they're going to be paying levies and water and electricity. So that's why I will call that a hidden cost. The other hidden cost, guys, is things might break in the house. You know, you might sit on a toilet seat and it breaks and you need money to fix that. And trust me, with buying property, you're always going to fix something. You're not going to find something that is 100% unless you're like a millionaire or a billionaire. But trust me, this is one thing I've learned. Like, already I'm like, oh, the tiles, I want to change the tiles a little because other side looks a little uneven. You know, I want to change the toilet seats. But that's the thing with buying property as well. You're not going to get 100%, so you always need to leave money aside for those fixtures that you're going to need. You know, maybe you need to change the blinds, because I know with our curtains as well, I didn't like the curtain holders. I don't know if that's what they're called. We had to change that, and that was money. So always remember that with every property you buy, you're not going to get 100%, and there's something called hidden costs, and you will spend extra money. So that, just bear that in mind when you're buying the property. Don't buy a property that's too expensive because you won't be able to maintain it. Okay guys, and that's it for this video. I hope I haven't missed anything. If you guys have more questions, you guys can just comment down below, and just let me know what your questions are, and if I can answer those questions, I definitely will. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.